All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
One Outs, episode 1.
All
a
right.
new show. You picked this one, Caleb.
This is going to be my Tuesday slot show pick for the next while until this show is completed. This is a show that's been on polls twice now. Long time ago.
Struck out every time.
Yes. Just 3 fast ones thrown down the middle.
Yep.
Each time that it had to compete against, and no shot. No shot. But we know a little bit about the show. It's a baseball focused.
That's right.
Show. And it seems to be something where it's focused on a pitcher primarily.
Right. And I've heard it's kind of psychological.
Yeah, I've heard that it's also very like
mind games and
kind of like really like trying to like overcome like internal struggles and stuff like that. So I could see it being something where you have a pitcher that's like under like a lot of pressure, basically,
right?
Like to support like a weak team or something like that.
Yeah, because the ideal baseball game is one where nothing happens because the pitcher does his job and
a perfect game,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this will be interesting.
This will be interesting because I do have a bit of baseball knowledge that I'll be bringing to a show like this. So I'm excited because Japan has a
penchant.
Yes. I was going to go even so hard to say they have a hard-on for the sport of baseball.
Yes.
So anytime a show has like, a shonen troupe,
right?
We're like, well, we got to have our beach episode.
Yep, naturally.
And then what's our other? Oh, a baseball episode. Yeah. We got to have one of those. Yeah.
And apparently, well, every episode will be a baseball episode for this show.
Right. Most likely.
Yep.
Unless it's like,
unless they do the beach episode.
Right. Or it's one out, and then it's basically like that was it. That ended your career. One out that you failed or something like that.
Yeah.
Because thinking about it as the title, One Outs, I'm like, that seems like a mistranslation of some kind, or it's trying to get at something that the Japanese kind of, it's like Shingeki no Kyojin kind of situation.
Right, exactly. It's not actually Attack on Titan.
Right.
Right.
So curious. The main character also looks kind of edgy.
It very much does give me the vibe of like, oh, okay, psychological mind games. This seems like the kind of character that would do that.
Right. Like some kind of like baseball Lelouch of some kind.
Yeah, some light Yagami, internal monologues of like, all right, so then what I'll do is I'll throw a sinker and
yeah. And that's also going to be really fun because pitching mind games was probably the most fun I had in baseball when I was younger, because when I was younger, my body size didn't matter as much with regards to pitching. And then when I got in high school, I couldn't pitch anymore because the people that could pitch were throwing, 75 miles an hour.
Right.
And I was only able to throw 65, which is noticeably less. And when you're like, 12 or what have you, and you're throwing against like your best friends or what have you across the plate, you're like, oh, I know what he would want here.
Right.
I know what he would want. Oh, he played in the backyard. All right, cool. We played at the park. All right, I want to throw him one of these, and then it's like, that
didn't work.
Okay. He's only getting a double. Okay, good. We have great outfielders. All right. Try again. Don't let the pressure get to you, Caleb.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited to get into this show. So yeah,
me too.
Y'all, without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're gonna learn about baseball.
Oh,
damn.
Wait, are we getting the story of the people that are then gonna go up to the plate against him?
Oh shit, okay.
Alright.
Triple crown winner twice. Home run. He's never hit a home run. Oh, okay. No, he hits home runs all day. Yeah. And this is where we'll meet the main character.
Sure.
Okay. Alright. So they're gonna switch pitchers now.
心配するな。俺のメニューなどどうにでもなる。
代わりのピッチャーを探すぞ。ここでですか？
お前小島さんの思いがわからないのか。
And this is maybe how a main character that wouldn't have otherwise been on a team gets brought into it, you know? Oh yeah, it might be.
Hey.
I got somebody.
Oh. Oh,
Okay.
shit. Oh, shit. They don't play baseball. They play one of those mini games. The pitcher, basically.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah. It's how far you can hit basically off the pitcher. We're still needing a pitcher.
Alright, here's our main character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, now how old is he? Let me guess. 19. Just 1,000?
バッターに1000。バッターにかけるのか。バッターでしょ当然。
あんた見る目あるよ。あのバッター、ハイスクール時代州大会で優勝したチームの4番だからね。
That was just a test.
残念、ついてないわ
Yeah,
ね。
that ball broke away too. Or sorry, broke towards him too, so that was a bit tricky to hit.
じゃあこれでもう一回バッターに1000。
Uh-oh.
ところが
However.
しかし。
は三振。
Oh my god. Yeah.
はめられてるぞ。
Yeah.
俺たち。グルなんだよ、奴ら。俺たちから金を巻き上げるつもりなんじゃないか。
Oh.
引き上げるぞ。それじゃ俺たちはこれで。
何これ？
何って負け分の4000円。
4000円じゃ
It's
ないわよ。
$4,000. Yeah.
Shit!
Yeah. And then now they're gonna beat them up if they leave
damn.
without paying.
次は俺が相手だ。それでさっきの4000ドル。この勝負に丸々かけて。
Brilliant.
But that's
Yeah.
double or nothing, so you could
大丈夫っすよ。これでも俺高校の時4番打ってたんですから。
you could be 8 G's in the bucket.
But you're a pitcher with a hurt middle finger right now.
黙って聞いてりゃインチキだのイカサマだの勝手なこと言いやがって
Okay.
それで4センター安すぎるって言ってんだよ
Okay.
ああ、じゃあいくらならやるんだ。
4万ドルだ
4万4万って400万円じゃねえかよ。むちゃくちゃだ。第一そんな大金。
全然構わねえよ
Holy
Oh
shit.
no, his ego's gonna come into play here.
Yeah.
俺の投げるボールに当てさえすれば
Touch.
お前の勝ち
Touch. You just have
Oh,
to foul
okay.
it.
Yeah.
だけ。
そうただしバントはなし
No bunting. Yeah.
Alright, I like it.
そんな小細工しなくてもなこいつが俺の球に当てることなんかできねえよ
Because you could just throw the ball at him over and over again.
Well, technically, that would be touching the
そう来なくちゃ
touching the ball.
むしろ逆。
Yeah.
See, and now he's already played the psychological games on you
Yeah.
because that much money is on the line. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to beat you if it, you know, if the stakes weren't that high.
こいつにとって400万は痛くも痒くもない金額なのか。それともこの勝負本気で自分。
Nah, he seems like the kind of guy who loves this part.
Mm-hmm. Or, yeah, one hit, not one pitch.
He choked. Yeah.
見送った。なんだ。なんてことないストレートじゃねえか。
That time
ワン
it
ストライ
was.
クと
Yeah.
今の一球、命取りになるわよ。
We're talking about
急見
talking
送る
about
のも
math
作戦のうちだよ。
probability.
作戦ときたね。そんなんじゃない。
Oh
今のは明らかにあ
no.
の男の逃げ、
Yeah.
重大な決断を迫られた時、決まって日本人が取る手段、
Oh.
待つ、引き伸
Oh.
ばす、つまり
Whoa.
時間に解決を委ねようとする甘え、それ以外の何者でもない。
Yeah.
あんたたちはこのルールの本質を理解していないから、ワンストライクをドブに捨てたのよ。
And now he's one
完
up
全
on
に
him.
彼の罠にはまってるのよ。
Right.
And now throw a change up.
Well, because the pressure on the third strike is going to be so ridiculous.
Yeah.
中根振るんだ振るんだ
And then it's a ball? Nope.
No.
Okay.
ようやく気づいたよね。最悪のタイミングで。
大振りするな。当てるだけでいいんだ。奴のストレートは全然怖くない。それに変化球だって
Yeah,
恐れる
he'll be
ことはない。
slower.
このゲームでピッチャーはグラブをつけていない。
Yeah.
つまり
So you
投げ
can
る
see how
前
he
に
holds
握り
it.
が
Yeah.
見えるってこと
Yeah.
だ。
Oh,
冷
okay.
静になれ。いいな。
It's gonna be another basic two-seam fastball, and he's gonna be so in his head.
Right, it's the... Yeah.
Yeah.
3 fastballs and he can't get it. Yeah. But is it really possible to...
Yep. Oh.
奴はフォークボールを投げられるのか。
Yeah, he's doing this.
夏の大きい
Yeah.
フォークボールは最も空振りを取りやすい変化球だ。
Yeah.
自信満々の表情でいられたのも納得できる。外角低め。やはりフォークだ。このコースなら見送ればボールだ。かかるか。
Unless...
It was just a fastball.
Yeah, he switched it when he brought the ball behind him.
全く後がない状況で中では打ちに行かずに見送った、ピッチャーが見せたフォークの握り、それは暗闇の中の一筋の巧妙。
結局400万の勝負ができるほどの器じゃなかったってことね。ま、今日はとりあえず有り金全部とカード類を置いてってちょうだい。一言言っとくけど、確かに私はあんたらをはめようとここに誘った。そりゃ認めるわ。だけど私たちとあのピッチャーは
Oh, is he
グルじゃ
paying
ない
off debt?
3球が3球とも寸分たがわず外角低めの同じコース。でもバットにかすらせることもできなかった。
Holy shit.
そ
Yeah.
ういうピッチャーなのさ。そう。一度も負けたことがない男。徳地東和。それが奴の名前よ。
All right.
Oh, cool. Now he's pitching. Yeah.
おい、ちょっと変わってくれないか。
うるせえな。後にしろ。
Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
He's coming here to practice
Yeah.
because he wants to square off against that pitcher.
簡単さ。あんたが握っているその棒切れで球を打ち返すだけだ。ジャック20、ジャック25。
不親切だな。今のは俺の勝ちか。
ペドロサだ。ペドロサ投げるぞ。日本中に20。
Oh, this is so fun. Now they're split. They're split
Right.
and they're betting. Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh, this is a real one now.
Yep.
悪いことは言わねえ。
Okay, okay.
とりあえず2、3球見送って目を鳴らす。
No problem.
He goes into a real batting stance finally. Drives his hips. Yeah. Easy. Easy.
さすがだな。俺の負けだ。
野球をコケにするな、クソが。
ずいぶんかっこいいことしてくれるじゃねえか。
お前が徳地東和か。
あんた
These guys are polar opposites of each other.
Yep. Uh-huh.
この前日本人が2人来たろ。あれは俺の連れだ。なら今ここで俺と勝負しろ。すでに巻き上げた金は忘れてやる。だが残りの金は俺が買ったら帳消しだ。
ただの賭けじゃ割りが合わねえ。そうだな。もし俺が勝ったら10倍返し40万ドルでどうだ。あんたほどの選手ならとってことねえ額だろ。
どう見積もっても俺がお前に負ける可能性はゼロだ。
Yeah.
俺は
Okay.
こんなところでお遊びでやってるお前らとはかけているものが違う。
My life.
Right.
俺にとって野球とは神聖なものだ。
Yeah.
だからお前らのような奴らを見ると無性に頭にくる。
Shit.
この勝負で思い知らせてやる。
Now you're giving him
さあ
ammo.
遠慮なくかけろ。それと
For
も
like
結
what
果
to
の
play
分かり
off
きった
of.
勝負にかける気も起こらないか。
オーケー。東和に40。見て。東和に30。
They're still betting on him.
あんた言うことはかっこいいんだけどさ、信用がゼロだな。
Oh God.
Yeah. You gave him too much personal info. Now he's in your head.
今から始まるわよ。
Oh God, this is the story of how Toa becomes a professional.
Yeah,
Because
basically.
he leverages like
40万ドル。
Uh-huh.
むちゃくちゃだ。
止めるんじゃないわよ。
無敗の男徳地東和天才打者小島博道勝負は始まった
Okay, yeah, this
All
is
right.
a baseball anime.
Yep.
Of the more kind of dirty variety.
Yeah.
Where it's not about like the full on like team sport idea, but it's about what happens when a pitcher can get in a batter's head and just completely take them
Make
to
them
town.
dance.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is a very fascinating concept there, because whenever someone comes along and tries to hack baseball and try and get some special way of like guaranteeing victories or what have you, you generally start with the team composition, and then thus the first player you think about in terms of team composition is the pitcher.
Right.
But generally speaking, because pitchers are not going to have perfect games or even really get that much into their players' heads, you need relief pitchers. You need closers.
Right. Even if they're able to strike out everyone they're up against, eventually they'll throw their arm out. Like they won't be able to pitch at that level, and then you'll need to swap them out.
Yeah, I'd say on average, you'll see pitchers go for anywhere between 75 to 100 pitches in a game if they're really, really, really good. But a lot of pitchers nowadays, I think, are actually more pushing down to like 50 to 75 pitches. And
Gotcha.
Switch them out. And that's an interesting thing that they can get into here. Like distance to the mound, the differences in terms of like what time period this is in. Because there's a possibility that this is even a little bit before the current modern time. It might not have been a manga or what have you that was, made in the 2000s or something.
Right. Yep. That is a total possibility.
You could see that going on here. But okay, we've got our major league players. We've got Kojima.
And we know why it's called 1 ounce. And
it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game
within a game.
Cool. And I love the idea of basically the professionals that do this for a living then going to the place where it's like, like if this were like a boxing, show or something, it'd be like, now let's go to the scrappy underground fighting rings, and like see how people do it there,
Right.
Keep us on edge, right? On our
toes. Where the rules are not different, but the ones that matter are not the ones you would think.
The meta is different.
The meta is different.
Yeah, and so awesome. That's a great way to have the sort of polar opposite two main characters for our sports anime.
Sure.
Love it. Although, granted, Kojima doesn't necessarily need to be one of the two main characters for this show. But
I think he will be, actually.
I think he will be because
he's a part of the team that is looking for...
Right, he's looking for another pitcher, and so the classic... result of this, regardless of who wins or loses, because I could actually potentially see it going both ways, is okay, come work for us, right? And however that ends up happening. Now, my initial instinct was that this is just no contest. Of course, Toa is going to, wipe the floor with him, right? And he's going to win, and it's going to be like, holy shit, let's get him on our team.
Right.
But I could also see it being something where he really gives him a run for his money and like makes him dance, makes him rethink baseball and stuff.
Sure.
And he manages to just barely beat Toa, right?
Yeah.
And then you could have that be a way where it's not just we need to learn from you, so come work for us, but also then Toa is like, oh, okay. So I still have stuff to learn too.
Yeah, I think the main thing that's obviously right now leaning in Toa's favor is they're not playing on an actual mound to home plate course. Toa is a lot closer than he actually, I would say, generally should be when pitching. I can't tell if they were trying to put it to scale when they showed us that one overhead shot, because, like, if you look right here, you can see that very clearly.
Yeah, that is not a 90-foot.
That is not a 90-foot gap there.
Yeah.
He's probably about 40 feet away, tops. Tops, probably closer like 35 feet.
This is probably like a little league field, and they're using it for that. Like,
yeah, it could be. It's actually weirdly shaped as far as a field goes. It almost looks like the
why isn't
lines
the diamond...
It looks like the lines should be back here.
Oh, maybe this is something that is like a baseball field, but then specifically for this, they set it up with their own dimensions, you know, to keep it more interesting. Because like, if the pitcher has to get it so that they either strike out or they hit it into the infield, making the infield a lot smaller also probably is something that helps keep it interesting, you know?
Sure, because pitchers generally have the advantage.
Right, like I would say most of the time, even in like professional baseball, batters aren't hitting into the outfield, you know? Like,
well, no, actually.
Yeah?
Actually, nowadays in professional baseball, it's flyouts basically all day as everyone's trying to hit a home run.
Gotcha.
Very few people are intentionally positioning their hits, especially in the American Major League Baseball league. Much more of it is hit it as hard as you can. Don't care about, you know, trying to hit, you know, a line drive like into the outfield for a base hit. Or even like, you know, past the second base specifically, which is the big hole, you know. If you can hit it directly over the pitcher's head, you're guaranteed a single, basically. You don't have to hit it that hard or what have you. But no, nowadays, it's actually almost everything is going into the outfield. And or they're just striking out or getting walked more
gotcha.
More likely.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, it's something where I feel like the way that this next episode goes and this immediate conflict is resolved will kind of
dictate the rest of the show.
The rest of the show because we could totally have Toa just be like the rule of cool character where he doesn't need to have a like character growth arc. It's just him being awesome, playing these mind games.
Yeah, and then the struggle comes from the results of him being too good and making other people's ego hurt in some way because then they're upset that this guy is hacking baseball and Kojima is the representation of that in that he's like, you make me want to puke by thinking that you're some big shit. When you look at your little pond, you think any of these people here are even comparable to me. I'm going to come in here
and destroy
this. Like, this is a joke. Now, obviously, he's coming in here looking for someone that could actually give him, you know, the desire to train.
Yeah, that classic, like, all right, someone may be as strong as me.
Right,
you know?
It can make him stronger. If Kojima then becomes a much stronger hitter as a part of this, then Kojima wins just as much as Toa does.
Right, like he's already a cleanup batter for a professional team.
Right, so like, maybe this will take him into the championships where he can then teach what he learns from Toa to his team. And be like,
and suddenly...
I'm going to turn you all into like great hitters and stuff.
Yeah. Can you imagine how terrifying that would be for other teams if it goes into like tournament arc and it's more about team dynamics and whatever, which it doesn't have to be. But like if all of a sudden this team comes in and it's like no pitches that we do work on these guys. Right. No matter how crazy it is, it's like they've seen it 10 times before and much worse. Like they're just hitting everything, right?
Yeah.
Because like what, like a 0.3 like batting average?
It's 300,
300 batting average. That's good. That's good, right? You know, so
on base percentage, I think you want to hit for more like you know 666. You know, kind of you want basically like that. You want to get on
from among your hits or
no. Basically, it's just the amount of times you get on base.
Oh, right, from when you go up to bat, right? Because the batting average is based on pitches, not based on actual
right. And the weird thing is that walks in that case count for on base percentage, even though they don't count.
You're not actually hitting the ball. Yeah.
Well, right. When you log in your stats, a walk doesn't count as an at bat.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. It's a really unique kind of scorekeeping kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So you'll see these people with massive on base percentages because they get walked constantly.
That was me in Little League. Because when you're 12 and under, it's very hard to hit the batter's box. But
and some people just like
some umpires just didn't care.
Yeah.
Swing, no. But yeah,
it's statistically more likely that I get on base if I don't do anything.
Right. Oh, come on, that was way outside.
Right. You should swing the bat. It's more fun. Like, no, fuck you. Yeah. Get good, scrub.
I'm tall. It's knees and chest. It's not that. It's a big box.
And if they can't even hit that, why am I swinging?
Right. But
this is going to be fun because it's going to dredge up a lot of baseball memories, but also having a way in which we're already saying this is not going to be typical baseball sports anime storyline. Like this is very much either going to be the story of how the delinquent and the professional become best friends.
Yeah, the unlikely couple, yeah.
Yeah, or it's the thing of where the delinquent is brought into the professional environment and the professional environment has to react, you know, to his presence.
And what happens if he gets on the team, but then all of a sudden, like, say he has gambling trouble and it follows him, right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
I think it's absolutely following him. I think that's why he's betting so high here. Is it's not because he needs the money for
kicks or whatever.
Right, for going above zero. This guy's in the red. He has to get back up to zero.
Up to zero, yeah. Because like if he just had $40,000 in cash in his pocket, right? Like that. That's
so much money.
Either he has much more than that, or that's just the change he has in his pocket, or he needs a lot more than that. So he's keeping that in his pocket because he's planning on throwing it around and using it. You know, so yeah,
because he needs maybe 400,
right?
And so when he bet 4,000, or was it 40,000?
It was 4,000, and then he upped it to 40,000.
Yeah. At that point, he was already thinking ahead of, I am going to need to clean up someone else and throw out an arbitrary 10 times more.
Yeah.
Because maybe he needs $500,000 total.
And so this 400K is like, okay. You know.
And and if he already has 40, then he might be 60K away or something like that.
You know. Yep. Suddenly he does that, and the 10% monthly interest from the loan shark isn't looking as terrifying because it's on 60,000 instead of $500,000 or something.
Sure,
you know?
yeah.
And of course, these are arbitrary numbers that we're throwing out.
Right.
You can get, as far as motivation for a main character, you can get into some fun territory when gambling is on the line, because then it doesn't just have to be, I want to face up against strong batters and stuff, which could totally be what it is. If he's impressed enough with Kojima, he could be like, well, yeah, I mean, these guys do kind of get old after a while. I'm not challenged by the people I play up against here, so...
And then he'll be like,
sure,
I want $1 million a year.
Right.
And they'll be like,
done.
We'll talk about that. And they'll be like, $1 million for 4 years. And they'll be like, no, I don't think so. No, I'm gonna walk away.
You're bringing me in as the pitcher, hun.
The starting pitcher.
Right, Yeah. That would actually be funny, though. Imagine if it's like, okay, we bring him on as like a relief pitcher because the one relief pitcher got injured, right? But
that was just because he was for the training camp.
No, right, that's just for the training camp.
You might actually bring him into the team for a while.
Totally. But like, let's say even if it gets to the point where he does get on the team, it's we still haven't seen you play in an actual game, so we're only going to bring you on, say, as a relief pitcher, right? And then you could have this crazy moment where it's like, okay, there's the regular pitcher, he throws really good, and then it's like, then the relief pitcher comes in, and they're like, all right, we're getting a bit of a breather. It's the relief pitcher, and then suddenly this demon of a relief pitcher comes out, and they're just like, where were you keeping this guy?
But also, that's a thing I didn't think about.
What?
The drama potentially with his own team of other pitchers getting moved around and replaced as starters.
Yeah.
Because if you don't necessarily need them because this pitcher is that terrifying, that creates its own kind of drama.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, wait. If Kojima's desire, and he was given the main motivation here, to win a championship, means that he won't care necessarily about whether or not other people's feelings are hurt because, they are getting their ego hit by these things here.
Right.
He might be seeming like he's an ego-driven, player here with the thing of, all of you, I look down on all of you.
Yeah.
But if he sees it as a way that can help him win, then he might be like, I'll absolutely throw my ego to the side to
exactly. He's got an ego for sure, but
because he's good.
Right. Yeah, as we've seen, it's a very well-earned ego, right? So what happens when someone comes along that knows tricks that he doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one player can't carry a team.
Right.
Except they can when they're a
specifically
pitcher.
The pitcher. Like
it's the funny thing where, weirdly enough, one player in baseball can actually carry a team, but they literally have to be the pitcher.
Right. And they have to do it like perfectly. Like,
well, I mean, not even perfectly. You look at some of the greats of like the last like 40 years or what have you. And there were multiple pitchers that would throw like 3, 2, or 1 hitters. And so even if one of those was a home run, You know,
right? As long as that's all that happens.
As long as that's all that happened, and you maybe let one run in for the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Then it's like, okay, you know, the rest of the team, you just have to get 2 points, you know.
Right.
As long as
in 9 innings.
As long as they don't do the same thing that I did. Right.
Which most pitchers don't. And this is the thing. Reality is stranger than fiction, y'all. Look up some of the goated pitchers of baseball's history, and you'll see some crazy shit.
I'm not
There's some monsters that have existed out there. Forget like the people that were like steroiding it up with like home runs and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's cool and all. Look up the pitchers from like 30 or 40 years ago, and you'll find some weird shit out there.
Yeah, like I was kind of into baseball growing up, you know, but like that stopped pretty quickly because I wasn't any good at it, you know. Mm-hmm. But like I would hear some of the stories, and I never really got into like the research of it myself, you know.
Right.
But yeah, this will be interesting to see how
it's a sport that is really on the
it.
decline, especially in the US.
Yep.
But it's kind of a thing where I kind of feel like it's had its time. It's had its 150 years. You know, we should let baseball move on and find something else like Ultimate Frisbee maybe. but yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if anything that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.